Hello, my name is Jane Nikopoulos. I'm from the Wharton AI and Analytics Initiative, and today I'm going to show you what Claude Artifacts are, how they work, how to build one, and there's really no coding experience required. This is for anyone who's curious about AI and what this Claude product can do. At the end of the video, I'm also going to be talking a little bit about, what this means. Like, we're able to create like a little piece of software like this. Like, that sounds incredibly powerful. And talking also about like whose hands this is actually the most capable in. And figuring out how exactly to get some sort of idea that you have and then turning it into a real product. So the best way to get started is just to show you where to find it. So we're going to go over here. And this is your main page after you log in on Claude. And over here on this left sidebar, you're going to find a bunch of different options here. And it might be right here, but we're looking for artifacts as this little icon. But yeah, right here, you might need to click this little down caret. And yeah, let's go ahead and click on it. Here you can see I had a couple of artifacts already prepared for us. But yeah, so I'm gonna click on this. This is just a little example I have here. And an artifact is a self-contained interactive output that Claude generates and then renders live right inside like a chat interface. So you can see right here on the left side. Had a little conversation. I wanted to build an app or a website, and then it was to teach a user more about Claude Artifacts. So this is me asking Claude to create this artifact that's all about, or it's a website that talks about artifacts, just as a start. And then you go through a little conversation here. It really helps you design it. It's walks you through the whole process. And then here on the right, you actually see the live website itself. So instead of just giving you text, that we're usually used to using all these kind of AI products, you just get text back. This is actually a live working like website. Maybe I shouldn't say live, but it's a working website that you're able to actually interact with. And this can also be, like an app or a diagram or like a really polished document that you can use, download, or even share. If you're on a business team plan like I am, these artifacts that get shared actually get shared to the rest of your team. And yeah, so artifacts can kind of be a lot of different things like I was just talking about. So this is like an interactive web page. So here you can copy some of these like sample prompts if you wanted, little drop down menus. But they could also be markdown documents. So things that are actually very documents that are very structured, have formatted writing. They could be visual diagrams. So things like flowcharts, timelines, and system maps. And they can also just, create things like any other kind of files like Word docs, spreadsheets, PDFs, and then also there you can create presentations, illustrations, and graphics. Claude Design came out recently, and that does a much better job at that. But you can still do it within here if you really wanted to. And yeah, they're not static. You're able to like really interact with them, and you can also have the Claude API get called within these. So what that means is that you can actually have built into this like the Claude chatbot into one of these tools. We'll show you an example right after this that kind of takes advantage of that. So yeah, you know what? Let's just get right to it. So there was my website explainer for Claude Artifacts. So this is Big Box. So this is a fake cardboard box company that I like to use for examples. And one of the use cases for AI that I commonly hear is for data analysis and report generation. And here the artifact is asking for a data set and a report. And then, so let's go ahead and upload those. So you can see I have these little 2 clickable buttons here. We go over here, click on our file, open it. You can see that they're both loaded now. And then all I have to do is just click right here, do Analyze with Claude, and it's going to generate our report for us. So I'm going to scroll through here a little bit. We're going to come back to this later in the video just to kind of talk about, what we've created here. Because you might start to notice some things might be a little wrong here, like, 0 million showing up in our fiscal year, why maybe we're choosing millions when all of our reports are coming in at 1,000. Like $1,000 per month. But yeah, so, and then also another big part of this is this grade that we get given on our company. But yeah, so like I was talking about before, you can have Claude AI kind of come in and actually talk and use, that like it's called like the API, application programming interface. It's just a way for Claude and this artifact to bring in and talk to that AI component. So here we have a generated text that kind of talks a little bit more about the data that we just brought in. And we can ask questions about it as well. So here we can even talk, like he gives some great examples of, like already to start, who are these at-risk accounts that it was talking about, what product line has the best margin, what to focus on. And then also we can create a executive report that gets generated, or we can copy it to our clipboard. But this is something that we can also take away from this and pull out of it and then put into something else. So overall, the value proposition is here. Like, it's very real. With some prompting, you can have something you can interact with, share, and iterate on. That kind of speed changes how you can do work. So let's actually get into making one together, so you can see the whole process from the ground up. All right, so we're on our artifacts page. We're going to go ahead and go to the top right here and click new artifact. And yeah, we're going to start the guided process of creating an artifact. So it's asking for us to pick a category. For this, we're going to be choosing documents and templates. The idea for this one is to take that document, that big box document we had before, and then use it to talk to Claude with it, and then eventually turn it into action items for our team members. So it's going to be for business. This is nice. We, instead of actually typing all this stuff up, Claude's asking us very simple questions, and we're able to just click on them, so we don't even have to type anything yet. So what format works best for you? So a fill-in form, probably, let's do fully written draft, fully written business document. Yep, that sounds great. So it'll be a project plan. I think that sounds close enough to what we want to do. All right, and then now that we're actually going to start having to do maybe a little bit more, or applying a little bit more context, I do have a little pre-written message here. And yeah, it's just that talk about that plan, creating action items for our members based off of a document. And then here it's going to talk about, what exactly its plan is. And I think this is great. So yeah, sounds great. Awesome. So it's going to go ahead and write up the code for the artifact. You can sit here and, watch it work. But for right now, I'm going to pause it and then come back to when it's actually at the final product. All right, we're almost done here. And it just kind of goes to show you like the amount of work that gets put into creating one of these, and how Claude just, does all of it and is able to create this. And it's just, absolutely wonderful. And it saves a tremendous amount of time, and anyone's able to actually come in and build one of these. All right, so not as impressive as the big box one, but or is visually impressive, but you can work on that. But yeah, so report analyzer, and I went ahead and clicked, and then here's that annual report again. So we're going to go ahead and click it, open it, and then click summarize report. This is the first time I've ever seen this, so let's see. But I got this part right. Upload a report to get a summary, ask questions, and generate team action items. So let's see what it actually can do. All right, well, after a couple seconds here, it's given us up in Markdown, it looks like, a executive summary. It looks very similar to the one that we actually got for the big box one, so that makes sense. And then, yeah, ask follow-up questions. So, you know what, I think we're good here. Let's just go ahead and generate some team action items for the sake of time. Generating action items for all teams. So once again, so obviously it doesn't look as visually impressive. If you wanted to go back in here and go into this chat and say, hey, can we add, branding? Can we make this look a little bit cleaner? Add things. You can always go back into this chat and then make adjustments. All right, so team action items. So sales. Ooh, so not only did it create the individual teams, but it actually even put in, without me asking, where on the priority list these things are for like engineering. So low priority is to initiate a rebid process for pulp and adhesive supply. Sure, sounds good. Sales, it looks like schedule senior account reviews with Appalachian Outdoors and Great. Yeah, sounds awesome for big box. These look like, you know, semi-legitimate, you know, concerns for a cardboard box company. And yeah, so this is awesome. So so right now I don't see, I could copy these things, but maybe let's actually look into being able to like take these things out, or maybe here, let's clean this up. And maybe add some generic big box branding. So go ahead, we can, you know, go back to this chat. It's going to rebuild all of this. And then, yeah, we'll come back, you know, once again, just to see what exactly it's come up with. All right, we have our new artifact was made. I see we have a nice little icon here in the top left. And let's go ahead and analyze a report. Oh, a better button. Okay, so it's added some additional, you know, little nice touches to the like the app. Like I think this is new as well, a new report button. So maybe just starting like a new report. We're definitely getting into like a better spot. We've made some changes, asked for some changes, and it's, you know, worked on things a little bit, made some nice buttons. For this next part, I do want to talk about what all this kind of means, like what, you know, some of these numbers, or how it's like pulling things in. And we're going to do that by talking or going back to the other big box artifact. I want to circle back to what I was talking about at the start of the video, which is, you know, what does all this mean? Everyone is able to now create a small piece of software that is able to help business workflows and promote efficiency at work. That should be amazing, right? Well, let's go ahead and go back to our, you know, fancy big box report. And, you know, really take a look of maybe what's actually going on here. Because at first glance, this looks great. But, you know, we're starting to see some interesting things here, like total units sold. We have an 18% increase year over year. Not necessarily sure that this is in the data itself. And then also monthly revenue by product line. These are in the thousands, and this is in the millions. Not sure how that happened. You know, we can go ahead, we can talk to Claude, you know, we can bring these things up, we can make these changes. But if you don't necessarily know what to look for, it's kind of hard to, you know, figure that kind of thing out. And, you know, we have multiple different graphs and trends here, and, you know, like revenue just caps off at 2,000. We're just done selling cardboard boxes after $2,000. We're like, no, we're done. It doesn't necessarily make sense. And one of the, you know, sure, we can figure this out. We can go in and find the report, you know, figure out the numbers. But this right here is actually one of the bigger problems that I want to talk about, which is this overall business and health score. But essentially, this is a number that I actually asked Claude to come up with. And if you go actually over here into our chat, I ask, how is this grade calculated? Is it from the AI, or is it actually, you know, is there an algorithm behind it essentially? And Claude says it's actually calculated by the AI, and Claude's asked to return, you know, this score. But it's, you know, if there's vibe coding, this is Claude's vibe number. As a data scientist, this isn't anything that I would want to give to any kind of business leader or anyone, because, you know, there's no backing to this. It doesn't take in, it's just purely based off of, you know, Claude picks a number based on general business intuition. That means nothing to me. There's nothing backing that. There's no, you know, I can't go back. You know, it's just like the AI is stochastic. This could change the next time that I go and look at this. You know, this is not a great way to deliver an insight. And you wouldn't know this because, you know, if you didn't like, if you weren't a data scientist like myself, and you weren't able to be someone who could pore over all of this, you know, mess, all of this code. So it's really good to kind of think about what exactly this means. And it's just, this is a great way to workshop and maybe think of, like, you know, do some ideation, but like be able to think about, like, you know, this is what I kind of want from a report, but then maybe putting it into someone else's hands that has this kind of background knowledge and understanding. Get more eyes on it, just have that, you know, do that double checking. Thank you so much for your time. And if you would like to know more, please follow the channel and our initiative. And thank you.